All right, getting back on the mic. It's been a long time since I recorded one of my podcast episodes, and really just got distracted. Had a lot of other stuff going on. Been a crazy year, obviously, with COVID and adjusting to that in everything that we were doing in the youth hockey space here in Arizona. So, but we're back, and I think anybody who follows me knows that I have been so fortunate to have a new job title this year. I am now the color analyst for the Arizona Coyotes on the radio, which has been an amazing journey. I'm having so much fun with it. So far this season, my partner, my play-by-play partner, Bob Heathouse, is fabulous and has been such a mentor and a role model for me as we're doing this, and it's been awesome. So I was inspired, since I'm on the mic almost every other night doing radio, I was inspired to get back with my podcast and just talking about different things going on in the hockey community, different things that I'm passionate about, things that I think can bring value to people who are listening. So I'm just going to talk a little bit and share my thoughts. I think one of the things that was kind of crippling for me was trying to figure out how am I going to get all these guests, and I have to organize it and plan it and time it, and I don't have to do that to have a podcast necessarily. I can talk about whatever I want. So no guests today, just me chatting, and here we go. So topic for the day, I wanted to dig into something that I had to get converted on a little bit, something that I was not a huge I don't want to say I wasn't a huge believer in it. I just didn't fully understand the value, I think is probably a better way to say it. And that is try hockey for free. So let me talk about my doubts first, and then I'll roll into how I've been converted and why. I think for a long time, and maybe it's just being in Arizona, ice time's not cheap here. It's $365. And that's the low end. Sometimes it can get up to as high as $450, $500 just for 1 hour of ice. So you take that, plus, if we're using, at least for the Coyotes anyway, we use part-time guys to help us get, the skates ready to go, the sticks, the giveaways, all those things. Those are hours, employee hours that are being logged and paid for. And I think for me, I had a hard time with it because I always said, well, anyone who needs to try hockey for free in Arizona probably can't afford to play the sport, so we're just setting them up for disappointment. And so that was kind of always my thinking, is try hockey for free. Yeah, it's great. They get to come on the ice. They get to have some fun, all that good stuff, experience hockey, but they probably aren't going to be able to afford it in the long term. And I was so wildly wrong about this. We hosted a girls-only try hockey for free this past weekend in Arizona, and it was sold out within 3 days. And we didn't even promote it that hard. I mean, it was very organic. I actually ran a couple virtual assemblies with some schools, which was a whole different thing we can talk about, but was just kind of sharing my story, sharing the sport of hockey virtually with a lot of young kids. We pushed this event out just through email, a lot of word of mouth, just a lot of our families here locally sharing it on social media, and boom, like that, it was sold out. And so we had 30-something girls plus a wait list, and they came out, and I would say 95% of the kids had an absolute blast. And by the end of today, we've now gotten at least 10 more girls to sign up for our girls' programs. And what was interesting for me is you kind of have the two camps when it comes to these events, these try hockey for free events. So the first camp is, these are the families who, hockey never really would be on their radar. And I think for those of us who are in these kind of non-traditional hockey markets, this is critical. you had those people who, hockey's just not top of mind. They get this opportunity. All right, fine, I'll give it a shot. It's not a full-blown commitment. It is a little bit more expensive. I can afford it, but if my kid doesn't like it, I don't want to waste the money on it. You have that group, and there were a lot of those people who were there. And they just needed that ease of access to come try something where it was really low financial risk to be able to just even introduce their kid to the sport. Okay, so that was the one side. The other side is, for those kids who really, it maybe is a little bit harder to afford the sport. So it allows them to get out there, see if they like it, try it out, and then, give their kids something that they maybe never would have otherwise gotten. Now we've got those kids in, and if those kids have the best time ever, they say, Mom, Dad, I want to be a hockey player more than anything, that's when they can come to us, and it's on us. It's our responsibility to make sure that we have affordable options for them to be able to continue to access hockey. Maybe it's not ice hockey. Maybe it's a street hockey league. Maybe it's a roller hockey league. Maybe it is an ice hockey league that is, scholarshiped or more affordable. Whatever it is, that's on us as a program to be able to have that. So I have been totally converted with Try Hockey for Free. And I think what's really amazing about this, and it sounds so silly, you guys, right? Like, I've been doing hockey programming for however long, and of course, Try Hockey for Free, any type of free event would make sense. But I had that hesitation, and now I'm like, why aren't we doing this once a month across the entire state? So the reason I wanted to talk about this is because it took effort. It definitely took effort. We had to actually get out there in the community and recruit new kids to come in, especially if we're trying to diversify our game, get new people in there, get new faces in there. Otherwise, we're just going to keep getting the exact same kids coming through year after year, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the growth potential isn't really there. But I think it's something that can make such a difference. The work is totally worth it. We're so fortunate to have the resources of working for an NHL club, but if you're in some town in the middle of New Mexico or Georgia or wherever it is that you are, and you're like, we need more hockey players here, I want to grow and develop this sport, it's a lot of time to be able to do that, and it can take some real volunteer hours if you don't have the paid resources to get it done. But I promise you, after what I saw this weekend and the conversion that we're seeing, it is so worth it. Okay, so that's sort of my thought on the business side of things for the adults who are listening. But for kids who are maybe listening and are like, this is so over my head, I don't really understand what's going on, you guys play a powerful role in this too. Okay, kids play such a powerful role in getting new players, new faces into the sport of hockey, because they're the ones who are at their schools wearing their jerseys, talking about their hockey game over the weekend. And kids who are listening to this podcast right now, what I want you to do is, do I expect you to go run a full-blown Try Hockey for Free event at an ice rink? No. Let your parents help with that. But what I want you to do is invite one friend over and play street hockey with them a little bit. Just pass a ball out in your front yard or in your garage. Encourage them to come and watch an NHL game or any hockey game with you on TV that's available. Maybe watch YouTube videos of hockey. Whatever it is, organize a little street hockey game or a roller hockey game down at your local park. Kids can have such a powerful effect on the growth of hockey. And that's what we need. I think we talk a lot about diversifying hockey. We talk a lot about growing the sport of hockey, especially in the United States and in kind of these non-traditional hockey markets where I'm at in Arizona. I will tell you that there was one virtual assembly that I did, and it was with a school that one of our girls who plays in our program goes to, and she was chiming in, raising her hand, chiming in on a lot of questions, commenting, sharing. She was just so excited to share with her friends, And of all the schools that I did these virtual assemblies with, her school had the most kids show up this past weekend. And it was because they saw one of their friends sharing their passion for this sport. And that's what made them want to come out. So, adults, whatever you can do to volunteer, however you can financially support these events, these Try Hockey for Free events to get them off the ground and running, please do it. It makes a huge difference, not only in growing the game, but in diversifying the game. And kids, if you're listening, get out there, get your street hockey stick, get your rollerblades, whatever it is, and encourage your friends to get out and just try the sport of hockey. I don't care if it's street hockey, I don't care if it's roller hockey, I don't care if it's ice hockey. Get them out there, trying it out, because guess what? That's what's going to make your experience as a hockey player that much better when there are even more players around you that you can compete with, that you can practice with, that you can train with to get better. So, Try Hockey for Free, all about it, totally converted this week. I am a huge believer in these events now, and I would encourage anyone and everybody throughout the country to get out there, do what you can to try to run one of these events. I know obviously it's really tough right now with everything going on with COVID, but you know what? It makes a huge difference. So thanks for listening. Let's go continue to grow the game of hockey. Let's keep making it a better place for kids, adults, everyone to play. And let's just continue to have an awesome hockey experience. Thanks for listening, you guys.